Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Leanna. I make videos about my family. We homeschool, we homestead, and I just kind of mix it up and make videos about whatever I want. So today is homeschool video basically. Kind of excited about this one. Wasn't expecting to make this one. So basically what happened is in the state of Ohio, our homeschool laws were codified. So let me explain. I got an email yesterday that told me this, and I'm kind of excited about it, so let's go. In Ohio, the way our laws work is we have three sets. We have the administrative code, the revised code, and the Constitution of Ohio. The Constitution is the strongest and the basis of all laws in Ohio. The revised code is the regular laws, and the administrative code is very easy to change. It's kind of lower level administrative kind of jargon kind of stuff that happens and how things are operated within the government. The homeschool laws in Ohio have always been in the administrative code, and they have been added to as we've gone. So they were introduced in the 80s, and it went from just notify to notify an assessment to notify assessment and show your curriculum to notify assessment and show your curriculum and your materials, notify assessment, show your curriculum, your materials, and here's the extra classes you have to prove that you're teaching. So that happened. I think we were up to this year when I'm going to notify, I have to list what I'm doing for fire safety and first aid, which I don't believe was on there last year. I'll have to check, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't on there last year because I remember we've been doing this for a few years now, and yeah. Anyways, so when DeWine codified this into law, our Governor DeWine, when he signed it into permanent law, which moved it into the revised code, which basically just said it's already been passed, we might as well make it permanent. It made us our own entity as homeschoolers. Before, we were subject to the superintendent of our district, and basically, even though it was written that we're just supposed to be notifying our superintendent, we were pretty much just asking for permission to continue homeschooling every year, which was really driving a lot of homeschoolers nuts. This is a huge win with him codifying this into law because we are no longer asking permission. We are just notifying the district, which is what it was supposed to be, what it was intended, but that's not how it was being implemented. So this is what the law says. The law says that in order to homeschool, you have to send in a notice of intent to your local district. This is not a permission asking. This is a, hey, my kid won't be attending. The law says that, the new codified law says that you have to list the children's names. You don't have, oh, they were also asking for birth dates when you notify. You no longer have to do that. With the law, as it states now, you just send in your notice of intent every year. You do not have to send in an assessment every year, and you only list the children in your home that are homeschooling. You do not have to list their birthdays. You do not have to list any identifiable information other than your name, if you have a spouse, your spouse's name, and the children who you're going to be homeschooling. Which is huge because we were having to list so many things in the previous NOIs, and I'm going to make a video dedicated to how to report and how it works from here on out. This year it's not going to affect us. I still have to do the NOI as I did it last year, and I still have to send in my assessment this year. But it goes into effect October 1st, which means it's in the middle of the school year. So when I do notify this year, while I will be notifying the same way as I did last year, I have to send in a notification written to the specifics of the new law so they can have that on file so I don't have to send it in twice. I still suggest sending in your letter certified so you know that they received it, so you have a receipt of them receiving it, because in Ohio, educational neglect and truancy is something they can charge you with. So you want proof that your district did receive it, so nobody comes after you and says, well, we know you're homeschooling and that's perfectly legal, but you didn't notify. Make sure you do send in your stuff certified when you do it still. So that's not going to change. But the need for an assessment every year is gone. Anyone who is homeschooling from last year and notifying again this year will need to send in an assessment, but that won't be something next year as far as what I understand of the new law. Another thing to keep in mind is that for the new law, you will not have to list your curriculum. You will not have to list the materials that you're using. None of that is needed anymore. It's just a simple paragraph stating, to whom it can concern, your name and your spouse's name if you're married. We plan on homeschooling our children. Here's our children's names, sign and date, according to Ohio code. And I don't remember the number. I will have that up here and down below in the description box. This is a huge win for us as homeschoolers. This makes it so that homeschooling in the state of Ohio is much easier, less of a hassle. You're not running to go get assessments every year. Like, that was the biggest thing, is I had to go, that everybody needs an assessment. So the assessors, there's only so many assessors. So you need to get in, and their books fill up fast. A lot of them open up their books in like April and they close them in June, because you have to have your notice sent in before the school district opens. And yeah, that was hectic every year. And this year was hectic. And we still did our assessment this year because we have to. But next year I will not be doing an assessment, and it'll be much more streamlined. And considering that my youngest will be homeschooling for another decade, this is a huge win. I'm very excited about this because it makes much less work in the front of your school year to try to get going. Also, it makes it so that you're not as worried about, do I have everything sent in? You still have to send in your letter, but you're not frantic to try to get someone else to assess your child before you send in your letter. I do suggest everyone still keep good records, even though you don't have to send in the assessment every year, just in case, because again, educational neglect is a charge that they can give you in the state of Ohio. So still keep your good records. If you want to assess your child, do that. I don't see a need, because as a homeschooler, you're trying to make sure your child's educated. You're not worried about someone else's opinion on their education. You want to make sure they're ready for the real world, and you want to make sure they have all the skills and knowledge they need to do that. Sorry, my brain was shutting down for a second. And you want to do all those things. But if you want to assess your kid, you can. You just don't need to do it for the state requirements anymore. And my recommendation is still to keep good records, because again, educational neglect is a thing in Ohio. But that's it. I just wanted to share with you that the notice of intent is changing this year, and I'm so excited for that. It will make my life easier and a lot of other people's lives easier, and it'll feel like I actually am not co-parenting with the state of Ohio. So that's my big thing. I don't want to be co-parenting with the state. So that's exciting. I will have a video with more in-depth information on how to write the new notice of intent. But for now, you can go to the hslda.org, or you can go to the Christian Home Educators of Ohio, or you can go to ohiohomeeducators.com. I believe that. I'll leave all the links, and they all have templates you can use, so that way you can just make it as easy as possible for yourself when you're sending it in. And if you have any questions, as always, leave them in the comments down below. I get to every comment that I possibly can. I read almost every single comment when it comes through. And my email address is in my About Me, I believe, if y'all want to email me and ask me questions, because I don't mind. I've been homeschooling for 11 years now. So big chunk of my life. So if you have any questions, send them to me, leave them down below. And I might even make a video about a specific question if I get that question enough. And I shall see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe out there. Love you guys. Bye.